Hello, and welcome to the Long Island Local Podcast, brought to you by Audio Workstations here in Bohemia, New York. Let's jump right into the conversation with a Long Island local business owner. Welcome, everyone, to the Long Island Local Podcast here in Season 2, and today we are talking with Jimmy from Smash Hit Media. What's up, Jimmy?
How are you? What's going on?
Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm psyched because, social media is a big deal nowadays, right? And it's also something that I don't like doing. So
Who does?
Well, I think there are those who like it, but maybe we would just call them influencers, right? And because they really are into it. But I think for a lot of businesses, it just seems like this extra thing that they don't want to do, that they feel like they have to do. But in reality, I think it's an important way to reach out to the actual people that are sitting there on their phones scrolling, because that's what we all do now.
Everyone's on their phone like every 2 minutes.
Yeah. And although I'm trying not to be, I am. And so this is where people are, instead of looking at people eye to eye nowadays, they're looking at a screen. So how did you come to focus on this aspect of business and really become an expert at social media stuff?
Well, I've been doing it. I know I look like I'm 25, let's say. But I've been doing it for like 15 years because...
How old are you actually?
Do I say?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm 38.
Okay.
38 years old, and I started younger. When I was like in high school, I was like dabbling and stuff, but it wasn't social media at the time.
Yeah, it was. I'm 39, so we're right around the same growing up experience.
So it wasn't really much of that. It was just word of mouth and doing stuff. But then I would say when I became like a college student, I started dabbling with like marketing my band and promoting like the band and going out, designing stuff. It was MySpace at the time.
Yeah,
which
I remember
was,
the
MySpace days.
Yeah.
So I just kind of built it off that, and then eventually became a business.
Okay, so all right, so it's interesting that you started in music, because those who don't know, the other studios in this building that we're in,
Which I gotta say, it's pretty awesome. Check it out.
Thank you. So, we have the Audio Workstation Studios A and B, and we're here in Studio C right now, and we have Studio D. We're calling that Media Stations. But my whole history is bands, and I was recording in my garage when I was 15 on an 8-track recorder.
Those little ones, like, oh, you ready to record?
Yep.
You good? Yeah, you good? Can you hear me? Check. Yeah.
Yep, that was me, and I was in a garage.
Or in a bathroom.
Well, first I was in a spare bedroom in my house, and then I was in a garage that was really an aluminum shack.
Oh man!
It was like detached from the house. It was like somebody just threw up this aluminum shack
sick.
And called it a garage. It didn't have any insulation, so he insulated it. My grandpa, who was a construction guy, he helped me out at the time. We put insulation up, and we lined the walls with homosote board, which is like this ugly, gray, smelly stuff that's pretty good for sound.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so
I'm jealous already.
Yeah, so I from age 15 to 18, I ran a little demo recording studio out of my garage and recorded mostly punk bands.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience in recording. Eventually, I learned it on computers.
I gotta ask you though, how many bands sound the same?
There was a lot. There was a lot of same soundingness. I mean, listen, but you learn to hear all the uniqueness when you're into a genre. Someone else who doesn't like the genre would think it's all sounding the same, but you get to hear the specificity of what makes each band different. But promoting bands was never my thing. I'm always locked in the studio. I'm a production guy.
Which is cool.
The light doesn't get in, and I emerge once in a while to shower.
See the sunlight.
Yeah, but. I don't really foray into the promotion stuff, but to be honest, I can make a great record in the studio, but if there's nobody there to promote it, it doesn't make an impact, right? It's like if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Yeah. I asked that question in audio engineering class as a teacher, but if a record is awesome, but no one promotes it, does anyone hear it? And the answer is no. So I like that you were in music. You're playing guitar. Is that correct?
I sang and I play guitar.
Okay.
I still do it for fun now on the side.
Yeah.
But
was that how you first started promoting things in general? Was just promoting the
band?
band?
It was basically promoting my band, which led to a record deal.
Okay.
But on the same page, it was kind of like getting all these local bands to come in and let me help promote your music and let me get you out there so other people could hear it. And it just started picking up, and I was getting calls from bands like, "Can you help promote me? We'll pay you. We'll pay you." And I was like, "Oh man, I can make money on the side. Like, all right, let's do it."
Yeah, promoting music is tricky, right? Especially on an independent level, and that's one of the reasons, just talking music industry trash for a little bit is, that's one of the reasons why record companies would be important is because they actually knew how to market and promote your stuff effectively. And that was one of the big things that they're offering. And in the old days, they would be offering money to record and money to promote and stuff. But we're in a scenario now where it's more affordable in a facility like we have here to do music production independently. And now much more of what the record company is offering is on the promotional side. So if they're not doing that well, what are they doing for you, right?
Exactly.
But having someone who knows how to independently promote things is a valuable thing as well, because you want that power. You don't want to need a record company.
No.
You want them to be asking you, and you having the luxury of being able to say no. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right. So how does promoting music translate in the early days to like promoting other businesses now?
So I would say like in 2013.
Okay.
I stopped touring. I started getting serious with my wife at the time. It was my girlfriend, and it's just kind of word of mouth. Like, let me see what I could do, because I really didn't want to work for a company. I didn't want to deal with the drama with the bosses. You know how it goes. People don't get along with their bosses. I would say most of the world always hates their boss, or you get that few that's like Michael Scott,
right?
Or you get someone that's really cool, down to earth, and I just didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And jobs come and go.
So as a path, being your own boss was a big part of choosing to do this, because you saw it was something that you could do as the boss, your own boss.
And I figured too, like, going into this in 2013, like, everyone's going to need marketing, whether it's a website creation or SEO or social media, because, new platforms were happening. Obviously Facebook came out before that, but it was Facebook because MySpace was dying.
Yep. I remember when Facebook was only for college
students.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was for music. It was great. And then it started, Facebook came out, and then people were like, oh, jump in the wagon to Facebook. So I said, all these platforms are going to come out, and people are going to need this for their business. Let me see if I could start doing it, learning it, and I taught myself everything. So if they need graphic design, I was the one learning graphic design on my own. I bought the program. It was like $1,000, whatever it was, and I sat down and I learned how to create things and like take my head off and put it on your head, on your body, and then stupid things like that.
Right.
But I saw a path for that, and I said, well, this could be for the future too, because no matter what, you're going to grow, learn new things, and there's always going to be a company who's going to knock on your door. So I said, why not do it?
Yeah, I think that was a smart move, because every business is going to need to get their word out there. And, music being one of the toughest things to promote, it's like, okay, if you can get a handle on how to promote music, it might actually make other things seem simpler.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that's an accurate statement?
Yeah, it was definitely a bigger challenge promoting music, because there's so many genres so many bands that sound the same for the same genre. There's a lot of pop punk bands.
How to stand out.
Yeah, and what's going to make you stand out from Blink-182 or Green Day or those bands that we grew up listening to. I had the same problem with my music too. It's always related to, oh, well, you like the starting line. I can hear that in the song, or Blink-182.
Right.
And, promoting music was definitely way harder when it came to like a business that was like a gynecologist, which is one of my clients. And I found that, doing a gynecologist was a lot easier.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll offer one thought about that, and that's that a lot of other businesses represent services or products, goods that people need regardless.
Yeah.
And it's just a question of them choosing who to buy it from, right? Or who to work with on it. With music, people like music. You can say that people need music in general, but they don't specifically need yours.
No.
You have to really win them over.
You got to sell it.
You really have to connect with them and sell it, and whatever the combination of the music and the promotional methods is, it's a hard thing to pierce through the veil of this is the music I already listen to. This is what, especially with older people, right?
Yeah.
And this is why young people are the market for music, is because they're basically not set in their ways yet. And it's like they're still open to hearing new things, but everyone else has to really be convinced that this should be a new thing that they listen to.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't just listen to their same 5 favorite records over and over again from when they were 16. And so, it's like you don't need to hear someone's music, but you may need gynecological services.
It was harder too because, like, a lot of these local bands, I would always say to them, do you have a song that stands out? And of course, we got a great song, but I'm like, yes, but when you go play it live, when they leave the show, do they remember it?
They remember it?
Because if you don't hook them in like that 15-second window, the 30-second window, you're not going anywhere with that song.
And that's, in the world of music production, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
If you play me a song and 5 minutes later, I can't remember exactly what the chorus was, and it's really not a catchy song, right? And me particularly, I work with a lot of music, and I have a high capacity to remember songs, maybe more than other people who are not focused on music so much. But if I can't remember it, right? Because I remember songs for a living, basically. That's the judgment, and it's that's so important, because if it doesn't make that impression the very first time, and then there's no reason for a second time.
No, cut that song, and that's where I tell my clients now. It's kind of similar to that, where if you're selling a product, make it stand out, because you do have competition.
Right.
Every industry I work with, they have competition. You're going to have that. So how do we get that to basically put you up and then knock them down?
How do you differentiate? Yeah. And you don't have to directly knock the competition down by name. If you could just elevate yourself by default, you'll look a little better.
And that's what we did with Rob, because obviously he's a home inspector. And there's a whole bunch. How many are there on the island?
Sure.
So many, everyone, And we made him stand out because obviously we want him to be number one. And he's been killing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Well, that's good. That's good advice in general. It's like, yes, you're offering a service or a product. What is the thing that people are going to get with you that they're not going to get with someone else?
Yeah, and I don't like to do the same businesses either. So, if I have a home inspector, I'm not taking on another home inspector, because now I'm kind of colliding with each other.
Conflict of interest there.
And I hate to say no, but at the same time, these clients have been with me for years. I'm not going to do that to them.
Yeah, well, that's important too, because if someone is looking to sign up with you, and then there's that conflict of interest, they'll trust you more that you're not taking it.
Yeah.
I realize that you're not taking the business, so it may be a moot point there, but it represents, speaking to your character, that you're not going to be splitting your attention between two competing businesses. Right.
And I'm very loyal to my clients, so it's I don't want to do all that work that we've been doing just to exit all out, because now this new guy came in and I have to promote him. So
but hey, there's enough types of businesses out there where you can have one of each, and you will be fine.
Exactly.
So, okay, that makes sense to me. All right, cool. So there's so many platforms now, right? Is it difficult to keep up with all the new platforms? How do you decide when something's new, whether to jump on it or not? When does it become proven that you need to be on something, as opposed to just it's a new fad? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see how it goes.
Yeah,
I kind of dabble with it a little bit just to see where it is. I usually test the waters with one of my clients. I'll pick a client this might be good for you. Let's dabble with it. Let's test it out. But if I see no traction going on within the first month, then it's a waste. It's
Gotcha.
We're going nowhere with this. We're posting or doing videos, TikTok videos or whatever, and you're not getting anything.
Right.
There's no likes, there's no views, no one's engaging on the post, or even trying to reach out to you. What's the point of doing it?
Right. So yeah, I imagine there was a point where TikTok was new, and it's is this something to take seriously for business? Because I've noticed this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like every time there's a new social media platform, at first it's more on the personal side. At first, it's more about people doing things as individuals and making them look cool or having a fun time. And then there's sort of this critical point where it becomes so big that businesses want on.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of this evolution where now it's this professional environment and it's more than this initial social thing. Like we call it social media, but social media specific ones get so big that they become social and business media.
Yeah.
And I think that's a part that people forget about. And even the whole function of it, I mean, if maybe our audience, or you've heard this before, but if you're getting something for free, right? If you're getting a service or a product for free, chances are you might be the product or service. And so when I'm posting on Facebook for free, I'm giving Facebook free content so that they can push stuff out there to attract advertisers, right? So that's what's going on there. So it's like ultimately that's where the business starts creeping and they want to be advertisers, but then they also want to have accounts and post and get organically followed.
Yep. I also like the part where businesses, they hop on the trend, let's say, and nothing happens, so they get pissed off.
Right.
And then they fire, for example, a marketing company, or they fire their employee because they're like, well, it's not working for us. Well, no crap, because, like, it doesn't fit your business.
Right.
Don't just join it because you want to join it. Like, don't follow the trend,
Right. So it's like a mix between just blindly following social media trends and actually objectively evaluating like what is right for the business. Does it fit the personality? And then also the strategy that you're using on it, right? You could be posting maybe the wrong style of video and it's not connecting. Like I try to express to businesses that want to do things like podcasts and YouTube channels that there's a place for an advertisement where you're just doing a 30-second or a 60-second ad where you're just literally selling your services in like a super professional scripted kind of a manner. But that's a different animal from the rest of social media, which is best expressed as maybe more authentic. Yeah. Like sort of like how we're just talking now. I'm not doing the announcer voice. Hello and welcome to every word I say. Right?
The sexy voice. Hello, ladies.
So I think that ends up playing better, right? Yeah. It's like getting to know people as they actually are, as they actually speak. So if you're going to have a business consultation, conversation with someone, how they appear on social media should be a clue and indicator as to how they would be in real life. Yeah. I think there's a place for being presentational or giving a talk and standing in front of a room of people or doing an advertisement.
Well, I know another problem is a lot of businesses, let's say, that are starting up, or let's say the owner of the company, they use their social media business page as their own personal page. And that's a huge no-no. Like, I always tell people, don't mix business with pleasure because that's going to hurt your business big time.
Yeah, I agree. And you want to have a nice separation between that. And even, honestly, as a business owner, I feel like the amount of personal posting that you do online should maybe be less than someone who is not owning a business. And that's just my personal opinion. It's like, it's every individual's prerogative to use social media how they want to. Yep. If you choose to make it a sounding board for your personal thoughts about every social issue that exists, then you might be doing yourself a disservice because what are the chances that everyone who you want to work with is going to agree with you on everything?
Exactly.
Right? And you don't want people to feel like they have to agree with your stances on various issues that you're posting about in order to work with you. Yep. And so it may be wiser to just save that stuff for in-person conversations that where you're feeling like things are candid now. And it's like when you make it known in a Facebook post that you really feel strongly about this one thing, that's fine that you feel that way, but are you alienating a lot of potential customers by saying that?
You're ruining your business.
Right.
You're killing it, especially with politics too. I always say, don't mention anything with politics because obviously everyone has, some kind of judgment. Right. Stay away from it. Yeah. Stay away from anything negative. Always post positive stuff. Always promote your business in a way that's marketable. Or someone goes, I might need them. Or, you know what? I saw your post, but my friend actually was looking for this. Like, don't kill your business by posting something dumb.
Of course. And it's tricky, too, because it's like you want to be You want to know that business owners are real people who have real thoughts. But I know everyone has a political opinion. Even if they don't say it, I don't know what it is, but I don't necessarily need to unless we're actually specifically talking about that, right? If somebody really wants to know, I really want to know what somebody thinks about some particular issue in society, I can ask them. But I don't need to know that ahead of buying their service, you know?
Exactly.
And so it can be tempting nowadays, I think, to use social media as like a real-time journal of your every thought, but that's not necessarily wise for a business owner.
Like,
to
I'm
do.
cooking this tonight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nice. All right, cool. What's that got to do with your business? But okay.
Yes. So that's a good point. Keeping the business social media and the personal social media separate, perhaps even thinking twice about what goes on your personal social media if you're a business owner.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm actually on the toilet right now posting this.
the toilet tweets.
Yeah. That's where all the reading comes from. Like, I could post on this.
I knew a musician. I don't know if he still has this on his Twitter profile, but he was like something about toilet tweets was in the bio of his Twitter profile.
It's amazing.
Like if you're in entertainment, you can get away with being a little bit more free with what you say. But if you're not in the entertainment business, there's more of an expectation of a bit of professionalism.
It's like they sit on the toilet, like, I have so much gas right now, trying to get this one out. Hold on.
Yeah, we want to keep that away. All right, cool. So, you know, navigating social media's new ones that pop up, you get like a month to maybe test something out, see if it's right for a business, and make sure it fits with their, you know, their authentic brand before you do it. Don't just chase trends. Make sure that it fits with you.
Yeah,
that seems like good advice to me. And so, how do you choose what to post? I mean, that seems like a huge question. But...
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, actually, because I don't post without getting your permission first.
Okay.
I never want to step on toes or ruin a business.
Right.
Because, remember, you're hiring me. I don't know anything about your business. I'm learning it as we go.
Right.
And, you know, I'll do my research and find out what's going on. But I always like to make sure I know what I'm posting first. So I say, like, hey, this post is about to go up. Do you approve it? Look it over. Let me know. And I always get the okay first, and then I post it up. But I always make sure I get the approval because you could ruin a business real fast.
Yeah, but practically, does that mean you need approval per post, or are you doing sort of a general, I'm going to post this type of stuff in general from this date to this date? Is that cool? And then you can just go?
Yeah, so usually I lay out like a format, and I say like, all right, you know, like Mondays we're going to post this, Tuesdays are going to be this, Wednesdays that, you know, and so on.
Cool.
But I try to break it down, make it easier for the client so they just have to go, I like it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Cool.
Nothing
so they can
crazy.
approve the plan in general, and then they can be more hands-off, basically understanding what you're going to be doing on
I'll get a few like little, can we throw this in there? Of course. You know, it's simple stuff. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. So I try to make it easier for them.
That's cool. And, you know, as far as like, is it mostly photos or videos? Like,
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
And then graphic design, like flyers or promotional stuff, depending on the client, who it is. You know, I have a client, I'm going to shout her out real quick, Joe Haramis, Floors Decors, what up? But she's awesome, great person to work with. And I say to her, like, hey, do you have a sale going on for blinds or something that you're doing? And she's like, you know, right now we have a window blind treatment going on, 40% off. I'm like, let's do it. Pop that up, make a flyer for her, show her. She says, okay. I post it up there.
Cool.
And another company real quick is New York Photo Video Group. Best guys, awesome people. But we're doing a sale for them too. And they're running actually 2 sales. One in November for... it's 15% off if you book with them. And then December is another one that they're doing. It's a free photo for like Christmas. They're going to put a snow globe in the background and have everything set up for Christmas. So like things like that I'll do. Right.
So special promotions. They get special notification online.
Yeah.
And then nowadays we're getting into more podcasting and we're getting more YouTube channels pop up. And so we can get clips from these things. Yeah. And, you know, we're talking for half an hour, but... You know, we could find 30 seconds of interesting stuff and post that. And
the toilet thing is the best to post.
What's that?
The toilet thing. That's it. That's
so
the whole business.
Cut it. Okay.
Yeah. Smash It Media. We sit on toilets.
Toilet tweet specialists.
That's how I do all my client training and business. I'm like, let me do this on the toilet. But no, that's how it goes. You know, it's fun. And like you said, you know, it just depends on what they want.
Right. All right, cool. And I know you do music,
Yep.
right? And so you still, is there an active band right now?
No, so I never got a full band. I did have members, but once I got my record deal, it was kind of like drop them. We just want you.
That's another
And
aspect of the music industry people don't know about.
So I was like, what do I do? I talked to my mom, and then boom, next thing you know, 2 weeks later, I got the record contract in California. 2 weeks later, I was in St. Louis. I signed it. Had dropped my band. Came back home from that tour, and that was it. That was history. But then I stopped because I met my wife, but we've known each other since high school.
Gotcha.
And now I just do it for fun. I actually got my son, who's 6 years old, to sing.
That's so cute.
On my new song. I put his butt right in the studio. I said, go sing it. He knew the words better than me. He heard it one time. I was like, how in the world?
Well,
must be my son.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that audio
The
memory.
gene, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's
The musical gene that's trickling in.
Something about the part of your brain that processes auditory information is maybe a little bit more active in some of us, and we end up going into music and audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I put him in. He had the little headphones on. He was sitting there, and he came on right on cue. Right on cue, and I was just like, wow.
He's got the rhythm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But the auto-tune helped, but yeah. Helped me and him.
Sure. All right, cool. So would you consider music now the main hobby when you're not working?
Believe it or not, no.
Okay, so what's the thing that you do to get away from work?
So there's two things I do. I write children books
Oh, wow.
on the side. So I just released my third book. Actually, yesterday it came out. And
Congrats. What's
thank
it
you.
called?
From Mars.
From Mars.
And it's a space book, obviously spaceship type thing. It's where the kids, they have to learn the solar system, and they have to capture creatures on different planets. So it's like a two in one.
Okay.
So they're learning stuff about space and the solar system, but then they have to go and capture these creatures with this alien that's from Mars around the planet.
So it's like a little science and a little sci-fi mixed in for entertainment.
Yeah.
I like it.
I try to do all my books like that, where they learn. So like I wrote the first book about a shark, and I wish I did this years ago because I would have killed Baby Shark. Sorry, Baby Shark, but you out. But I did this book. It was called Little Shark, Little Shark. Where he goes around the ocean, meets other like sea creatures, and he ends up finding like things to eat.
Okay.
Because he just wants to eat.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the book, he's like this giant shark, and it's pretty funny.
What's the title? What's the title?
Little Shark, Little Shark.
Little Shark, Little Shark.
And then I wrote my second book, which was called That Crazy Squirrel.
Okay.
And
they are crazy.
Yeah, I love it. But it was about a squirrel who basically goes out and he wants the acorns, and you have to find them though. You're basically counting. So each page you count.
Okay.
It's more for accounting,
right.
not accounting,
math
but
skills.
Yeah, math skills. And they had to go around and find acorns in each page, and they're hidden behind things,
Cool.
and you have to count. So it goes up to 11, not 10. The only reason why I did 11 is because it's my lucky number.
Okay.
So it's a little fun fact.
That's cool.
And I throw a little humor in for adults.
Yeah.
So if you look at some of the animals that he meets, you'll see like an animal farting, which is pretty funny. Has a little puff coming out of his butt.
I think this is the podcast where we've mentioned farting
Yeah.
the most. Yeah, so if any.
The humor here, huh? But then my new book, like I said, is the space one. So I do that on the side, and then sometimes I unwind by just playing hockey or watching it, or I go on Xbox with my friends and we just do things.
How do you distribute the books?
Amazon.
Okay.
Everything's through Amazon. Very easy to use. Highly recommend it. I do all the graphics and everything else.
So do they print it on demand, or do you have to get stock?
So basically the way it works, they print it on demand.
Perfect.
But they take 60, you get 40.
Right.
And then I do all the graphic design for it. And then basically it's like you submit everything, and it takes about 24 hours.
Okay.
And they get back to you, say like, hey, you have to fix a page, or
right.
It's a little out. But
okay.
I'm like, it's so easy to use.
So they have their own little publishing for independent people, and they just split it 60-40.
And you don't have to do books. You could just do straight like Kindle, I think it's called, right? Kindle books, and or electronic stuff. You don't even have to do like paperback or hardcover.
Is there a different kind of split with them if it's paper versus electronic? Or?
I don't know the electronic stuff, but I know
they probably have to spend more to make the physical. Yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
But I do all strictly paperback.
That's cool. I was actually looking into like doing T-shirt designs through Amazon on-demand printing recently.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I read some article
That's
about
awesome.
it. I was about to sign up last night, and they were like, type in your bank info.
And you're like, nope.
And I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'll come
You're
back to
right
this.
there, and you're like, maybe another day I'll save this for.
Exactly. But I am interested in doing it.
Definitely do it.
Yeah.
Easy to use. Like, I know Amazon's like the biggest thing, but like they make things so much easier.
I've been messing around with these AI art websites and like just typing in funny phrases and seeing what comes back.
Yeah.
And some of them I'm like, this is pretty cool. I might want to print this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, like, I don't know how they do it.
It's pretty cool.
But it's pretty awesome how they come up with this.
I'm like typing in very poetic sounding abstract phrases and just seeing what it comes up with. They come up with some cool shit. I mean, one of them looks like a painting that I would like. Yeah, it's like
you would hang in your house?
I typed in like mysterious woman with purple something and a halo of smoke around it. And
sorry, she's taken, lady. Gentlemen. Sorry, fellas. This lady's taken.
But it came out pretty cool. It was like, it looked like a nice painting.
Yeah.
Of like, it was, like you couldn't see the woman's face. Like they cut it off right here because I said mysterious. So it was like, like the body of a purple woman, like holding her hand to her heart. And it was like yellow, like the sun. It was cool.
Get the hell out!
Yeah.
Wow.
So I gotta
dabble
more.
and see what it looks like.
Yeah, and I might put some of them on T-shirts or something. And sell them on Amazon.
I'll say, draw my crazy wife. I love you, babe.
That would be funny if you literally type in "my wife is crazy" into the AI. See what happens.
And see what happens.
Somebody do that who's listening.
Someone please do that. Let me know. I don't want to get in trouble, so you do it.
All right. So for hobbies, we've got children's books and hockey.
Yeah.
Do you play hockey in the league? Or?
I do. I play roller hockey and deck hockey right now.
Cool. What's the difference?
One's on foot.
On foot, right?
And
no
one's
rolling.
on skates. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's so much easier to roll.
And what about ice? Do you ever do the ice?
I used to. I stopped.
Is it too much work, basically, to get the skates on?
Yeah, it just, it's...
Get all the way to the
rink. It just
rink?
gets expensive after a while.
Okay,
and then you play with these people, and they just want to fight you the whole time, and you're like, come on.
Yeah, there's that part of hockey.
It's
is that specific to ice hockey, where, in roller hockey, do they fight less?
No, it's the same.
It's the same. Okay.
I hate to say it. Okay. Even deck hockey. Like, like I have, like, 50-year-olds, like, trying to fight, and I'm like... What? Like, I don't want to fight you.
You don't
like,
talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, I just want to play the game and like go home.
That's funny.
Like, so it gets kind of crazy with that stuff.
It's the only like normal sport we're fighting is like normal ice hockey.
You're so used to it, and like you come home with like marks on your body and like black and blue from blocking blocking a shot or whatever. My wife knows right away.
Yep.
She's like, they're gonna think I beat you because like I have all these. I play defense, so I block a lot of shots.
Officer, I swear my husband's a hockey player.
Yeah,
it's not me.
I just look at him like, help.
Okay, so all right, so we got a little bit of music, children's books, and hockey. And I don't often hear children's books and hockey talked about together, so I give you props for having unique combinations of hobbies.
I try.
Awesome. All right, I think we answered a lot of questions about social media and how you've come to do it and how you approach it and even how you relax when you're not doing it. So thank you so much for coming in and talking to us today. I
Definitely
feel like
had
I
a
learned
blast.
a lot. Awesome.
I'll always teach
Jimmy.
you something. Thank you so much for having me.
And I promise not to edit out all the talk of farts. I'm sorry to
Please,
the audience.
keep
it's
it all.
Stay in there.
Sorry, guys. Farts happen. Everyone goes.
But we don't advertise them on social media except for this podcast.
But smashhitmedia.com/farts.
Pay no attention to him, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Awesome, Jimmy. Thank you for coming
in. Guys.
And thank you to the audience for listening. And we will see you next time.
Thank you. Hey, guys. This is Jimmy from Smash Hit Media, and I am the most affordable marketing company on Long Island. You can check us out on the web at www.smashhitmediany.com.